We should start off this episode by reminding people not to accept weed candy from any strangers.
No, don't accept. It's not just weed candy. It's just check your candy because, edibles can just show up anywhere.
Yeah.
People are very careless with them.
People really want to make edibles for children.
Right. They really want to make edibles and give them away for free.
It's an untapped market. Really.
Yeah. It's all about giving it away for free. Because it doesn't cost that much. Especially, I just got kicked in the back of the head by a cat. And he literally does not care.
Yeah, he's being very rude right now.
Yeah. Sir, would you like to make a comment?
Ew.
Thank you, sir. Hey, welcome to So Anyway. No, that's not right.
Oh, wait.
Hey! Welcome to So Anyway, It's Haunted.
That's him. That's him.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
We miss him.
He's haunted.
He just possessed your body for a moment.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, no! Call the priest.
Beep, beep, beep. Ghost police. There's a ghost here.
Wow, I guess McAnally just got instantly sleepy.
He can.
Hey, we got to get this going before Mac falls asleep again.
Sometimes I worry that the improv is just too good.
Yeah, guess what? I'm wide awake.
Wow. Hey, welcome to So Anyway, It's Haunted. This is your favorite podcast where we talk about paranormal things such as haunted places and cursed things and folklore and urban legends. And we read your very own listener stories, paranormal in any way, shape, or form.
Sounds good. I gotta say,
welcome back.
It feels amazing to have my own mic.
I know.
Yeah.
Who curdled the milk?
Izzy's gonna be
Find out at 7.
Izzy's gonna be mad that you said
In
that
60
because
minutes.
he's been trying to buy another mic for us for
Yeah, we refuse.
since before we moved, I think.
We just keep moving houses, so he never has our address. And
Exactly.
Now that we live in Dallas,
I would never live in Dallas.
Arkansas.
I want to. Oh, we have some big news. I haven't even told y'all. We officially have hit 10,000 downloads.
whoa.
Yeah, so this is our
Wow.
10,000 download episode.
10,000 DLs?
10,000 DLs.
10K DLs?
I'm sorry, L. Yeah, so I want to thank all our new listeners, all our listeners that have been there since the beginning. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks
I
for
formally apologize for those earlier episodes.
Yeah, every single time I tell someone about our podcast, I'm like, just don't listen to the first
Yeah.
20. Just listen to the last 10.
Yeah.
Not even that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? We're all here together, and we're trying to have fun, and we're trying to do this before Mac falls asleep.
We're
so
trying.
And
We're
remember,
trying.
if you download every single episode and comment on every single podcast first, you will be entered in a sweepstakes to come and shake our hands personally
At your own expense, of course.
at a Starbucks nearest us,
Wow.
which would be in Dallas.
Wow.
Yep.
The headquarters of
Which is where
Starbucks.
we're located.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anything creepy happened to us this October? Let's talk. Should we talk about October?
Sure.
Because ours hasn't been very good collectively.
Yeah, we've just had life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 people have passed away this month
Yeah.
in my life. And it is so... You just keep rolling with the punches, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're getting good weather. It's nice outside.
Oh, yeah, for once.
I know. We get it. We get it in like 3-day spats, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the rains come and they're like, here's the weather. And then they take it away sharply.
Yeah.
And you're like, please more, please more.
For
You know?
those that aren't acquainted with Texas climates, the fall weather lasts for about a week, and then it's gone.
Right. And that's it.
Yeah, so we're glad to have some extended nice weather.
I also have become accustomed to this 10-hour-long loop of a fireplace crackling.
You're really
on
addicted
YouTube.
to it.
I really
I've been
like
meaning
it.
to talk to you about it.
Wow. I just like, putting all our Christmas lights on inside, lighting some candles, and then putting on the fireplace and reading a book, man.
We really need to like hide some like space heaters
So
underneath.
it seems
so
warm.
it's like extra warm.
Yeah. We just have it. We basically have like, how big is our TV? Like 5 feet or something? Less than that? I don't know.
Something like
We
that.
got a big boy TV, all right?
Yeah.
Because we like big boy movies. Go catch us at So Anyway We Watched It. That's where we talk about movies. Anyway.
What if at like the 6 hour and 45-minute mark,
Someone falls into the fire.
I was gonna say there's like a thief
Wow.
trying to get into the house, and he goes, ah, and then you just like watch him burn.
There was a thing on, wasn't it on Hulu that we found like a few years ago that was Santa just stuck in a chimney for like 3
Oh
hours?
my gosh. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
It had to have been like last year, dude. Was it? It doesn't matter. It was like videos of like, here's a bunch of dogs messing with the Christmas tree.
eating all the
That was kind of
Yeah.
stressful, yeah.
decorations. I was
Yeah.
like, stop them.
And then there was one that was like, yeah, here's a guy trying to get out of a fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some weird videos on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it was on Hulu.
Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, look, man, we're excited to be here, and guess what? Halloween is this week,
Yeah.
and we're going to parties, and we're dressing up, and we're just thankful that we survived this month. All right.
Comment
Basically
below
it.
what costume you think we're wearing.
I'll talk about my
If
costume.
any.
Ooh.
What costume are you wearing?
No, talk about y'all's first.
I don't have a costume.
I know. I wanted you to say it. I wanted everyone to hear it.
Do you need to hear it? You already know.
I don't need to hear it.
Everyone
They do.
already knows.
Christopher doesn't like dressing up.
I don't know what it is. What is it?
Nothing. Well, you do have that Bruce Lee
Jumpsuit?
jumpsuit. Yeah, you could always put that on.
Oh, yeah.
And I have
Like,
horns.
Oh my gosh, I love Forest Lawn.
Wow. Maganelli, what are you going to be?
I am going to be my cinema persona, which is Peter B. Parker, the sad, depressed, slightly overweight Peter Parker.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I
Wait,
have
do you
the,
dress up at work?
I have the sweatpants and the Spider-Man top to go with it. So,
Nice.
no, my work was canceled for Halloween, but I'm still going to do it. So that
Your
when
work
people,
in the coal mines.
yeah, when people come knocking on our door,
The
I'm
coal
just gonna be
miners
like,
don't dress up.
hey kid,
Here's a lump of coal.
you want some? I don't know. Let me go check. And then I get like a scoop
And you're like,
of the,
I got these old lumpy onions.
Yep.
I got protein. And I didn't put it in
Take a
little bag.
scoop. Everybody take a
Into their
scoop.
bucket.
Everyone gets one.
2 for you. You need to
Yeah.
grow a little.
Put some meat on
You're
the
all skin and bones.
Wow. I found out that I'm working for Halloween, and I
Nice.
won't be off until like 10.
Nice.
That's lame.
So I'm going to go to a quick party after that.
Okay.
And then on Friday, I'm going to go to a blowout party. And it's going to be wild. And this is going to be the first year I haven't thrown a Halloween party,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be what I have dubbed, it's a conceptual piece called The Lover of Lost Souls.
Okay.
And
yeah.
it's going to be really cool. And I'm going to have a crown and these elongated fingers and blackout eyes and a bloody heart and this really high fashion dress.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be awesome.
So it's your OC?
What is that? Original character?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
guess that is my OC.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Uh.
Oh, I did. I've carved like 2 pumpkins this year, which is
Yeah.
great. We watched Hocus Pocus twice, which is great.
Yeah. We're on track with that.
We literally haven't watched any other horror movies
Yeah.
for the entire
We've been
month.
slipping.
Yeah, it's okay.
But we substituted with Casto Dance
Yep, that was
and Good Burger.
scary
Good Burger.
good.
Yeah.
And Rugrats 2.
Oh yeah.
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 So I wore these blackout. I got these blackout contacts, right? And I wore them to a family Halloween party. And I told my mom to warn my nephew, who's 4, that I would be wearing these contacts because I
Yeah.
didn't want to scare him. And it was so funny. Like, he knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they're not totally blackout.
Yeah.
They just black out your irises, basically. And it just looked like I had brown eyes, basically. And it was so funny. Like, he like looked at me, and we were just kind of talking about our costumes, and he was like, "Why do you have those?" And he pointed at my eyes, and I was like, "Oh, they're just pretend. These are my costume. I just wanted to be spooky. They're just pretend." And he was like, "Yeah." So
Sure.
he just needed the reassurance to know. And then he brought it up Sunday when we were carving pumpkins at my dad's house. He was like, "Oh yeah, you were wearing contacts." I'm like, "Yeah, it was pretend. It was pretend. T is not evil." But anyway, I don't know why I told that story because literally no one cares.
What?
So let's jump in to the actual podcast.
Okay, listen, I care.
I know, but
Wait, this is a festive time. We should be asking what famous or even cryptic, not famous, Halloween themed or monster themed.
I just cut it out, but McAnally just sneezed. So now we're gonna start over again.
Do you guys have cats?
Wow.
Anyways, as it is Halloween today when this is being released, what monster do you most associate your wife with and me with, and then we'll do you?
Monster?
Yeah, like
Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, Halloween, ghoul, or
like a classic monster?
I mean, classic monster, current monster, vague monster, any monster.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Why do you say that?
Why do you think I'm the Bride of Frankenstein?
Just because I dressed... Wow. Just because I dressed up as Bride of Frankenstein one year?
Well, you also used to have the beehive hair.
True.
Back in high school.
True.
And I still associate that with you.
Interesting.
So there you go.
And
What about this one?
me.
The Flying Dutchman.
The answer we were looking for was Bunnicula, which was that book from when I was in 4th grade about the rabbit that was a vampire.
What's funny?
Interesting.
What's funny is someone has literally compared me to that character.
Oh, yeah?
A bunny rabbit vampire. They're like, that sounds like Ashley's aesthetic.
What?
And I was like, I'm offended, but I agree.
I would have said that or Dracula.
And I would have also accepted Gruntilda, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I think you encompass the perfect wolf man.
She's not as famous, though. Oh, I'm a wolf man?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Wolfman, really?
Yeah. He's always standing on his feet like that. His incisors typically tend to grow on full moons, and he just gets really mad all the time.
You can hear the clickety-clack of my nails on the floor
Clickety-clacking.
as I walk.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear his clackers clacking.
Yep. That's a different thing.
I don't know what that is. So anyways, it's haunted.
So anyways, comment your favorite movie monster and who you would be.
Where are they commenting?
I don't know, YouTube.
Hey,
I guess full disclosure, we have a YouTube, but we don't check it.
Yeah, we have an Instagram. You can follow us on It's Haunted Podcast. And what's our handle again for
on Twitter? You can find us at Max Mystery Milk.
Nice.
Max Mystery Milk.
There
and if you
you
don't
go.
know that joke, you haven't listened to all these episodes.
Shame on me.
And you need to check out Ghost Bones on Instagram. GHTBNS. We love you, Monica. We miss you. Actually, we have an email from Monica that I'm going to read later in the show, which is awesome. So, anything else before we start?
I had this really vivid dream about escaping from an island run by a brother and sister, and they had dinosaurs.
Wow.
I had a dream. It was like the first nightmare that I had in a while of me holding up a line at a bookstore, and it was pretty stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a zombie dream the other night.
You always have zombie dreams.
I don't have zombie dreams often. I have demon dreams often.
Oh, wow.
Just that I'm screaming at them and trying to exercise them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Weird. All right, so what do we have this week?
So this week, what I've got for you guys is I'm going to be talking about Tombstone.
I love their pizza!
Every single time we walk by the frozen pizza aisle, I say, Tombstone, my favorite.
Tombstone.
And Christopher has never had a Tombstone pizza and still
I've never had
says
a Tombstone.
it still says it's garbage.
It looks garbage.
I'm just saying, you've never had it.
It looks like the cardboard that it comes on.
Wow.
Pick one.
Big words.
They can't all be cardboard.
Wow.
I mean, a bad pizza is a
must
bad
be.
pizza.
It must
I
be
mean, Little
Tombstone.
Very akin
Caesars,
to
Papa John's, Domino's,
cardboard.
Pizza Hut.
Okay, now hold on. Okay, so Tombstone,
Okay.
as you know, or as you may or may not know, is a historic city in Cochise County, Arizona. It was founded in 1879 by prospector Ed Schieffelin in what was then the Pima County, Arizona Territory. And it became one of the last and most renowned boom towns on the American frontier. The town grew significantly into the mid-1880s as the local silver mines produced $40 to $85 million in silver bullion.
Wow. Silver bouillon.
Silver
I know bouillon. You use that to make
Yeah, you mix it in your soup.
Creole mix.
Right.
And it coats your insides with silver. Its population grew from 100 to around 14,000 people in less than 7 years.
Whoa.
And it is best known as the site of the gunfight at the OK Corral.
Oh, yeah.
The town was established on a mesa above the Good Enough mine.
Wow.
It's a weird name for a mine. So within 2 years of its founding, although far distant from any other metropolitan area, Tombstone had, which is crazy to me, a bowling alley.
What? Wait, what year is this?
It doesn't specify the year that the bowling alley was built.
Okay. When was bowling invented?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
4 churches, an ice house, a school, 2 banks,
2 banks.
3 newspapers,
3 newspapers in one school?
and an ice cream parlor.
Penny
Along-
licks.
Oh, yeah. Gross. Alongside 110 saloons, 14 gambling halls, and numerous dance halls and brothels.
Wow.
And all of these were situated among and on top a large number of silver mines.
Wow.
The gentlemen and ladies of Tombstone attended operas presented by visiting acting troupes at the Schieffelin Hall Opera House, while the miners and cowboys saw shows at the Birdcage Theater.
The Birdcage.
Yeah.
Cool. Good movie.
Under the surface were tensions that grew into deadly conflict, however. The mining capitalists and the townspeople were largely Republicans from the northern states.
Figures.
Many of the ranchers, some of whom, like the Clantons, were also rustlers and other criminal
Rustler.
Nice.
other criminal types. Those guys were Confederate sympathizers and Democrats. The booming city was only 30 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border and was an open market for cattle stolen from ranches in Sonora, Mexico, by a loosely organized band of outlaws known as the Cowboys.
I bet they were vegan and they were stealing them to release them.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm attacked.
the Earp brothers, Wyatt, Virgil, and Morgan, as well as Doc Holliday, arrived in December of 1879. The Earps had ongoing conflicts with the Cowboys, Ike and Billy Clinton, Frank and Tom McLaury, and Billy Claiborne. The Cowboys repeatedly threatened the Earps over many months until the conflict escalated into a shootout on October 26th, 1881.
Wow.
So the historic gunfight is often portrayed as occurring at the actual OK Corral, when in reality it actually occurred a short distance away in an empty lot on Fremont Street.
Interesting.
So on the evening of March 15th, 1881, 3 cowboys attempted to rob a Kinnear and Company stagecoach carrying $26,000 in silver bullion, which is about $670,000 in today's.
Mercy.
Ooh.
It was en route from Tombstone to Benson, and which was the nearest railroad freight terminal. Near Drew's Station, just outside Contention City, the popular and well-known driver Eli Bud Philpott and a passenger named Peter Roerig riding in the rear dicky seat were both shot and killed. Deputy U.S. Marshal Virgil Earp and his temporary deputies and brothers Wyatt Earp and Morgan Earp pursued the Cowboys suspected of the murders. And this set off a chain of events that culminated on October 26th in a gunfight in the vacant lot. The gunfight was the result of a personal family and political feud. 3 months later, on the evening of December 28th, 1881, Virgil Earp was ambushed and seriously wounded on the streets of Tombstone by hidden assailants shooting from the second story of an unfinished building.
Cowards.
Although identified, the suspects provided witnesses who supplied alibis, and the men were not prosecuted. On March 18th, 1882, Morgan Earp was killed by a shot that struck his spine as Wyatt looked on late at night while Morgan Earp played billiards at 10 p.m. at the Campbell and Hatch on Tombstone's main drag. So once again, the assailants were named, but escaped arrest due to legal technicalities.
Wow.
Wyatt Earp concluding that legal justice was out of reach, but with warrants obtained by the U.S. Marshal's Office, led a posse that pursued and killed 4 of the men they held responsible on what became known as the Earp Vendetta Ride.
Whoa.
Tom McLaury, Frank McLaury, and Billy Clanton, killed in the OK Corral shootout, are among those buried in the town's Boot Hill graveyard. Of the number of pioneer Boot Hill cemeteries in the Old West, it was named Boot Hill Cemetery because most of the people buried in them died with their boots on.
Wow. This is all so fantastical.
Yeah, I know. It's very cinematic.
Yeah.
Very stereotypical Old West type thing. The historic OK Corral has been preserved, but is now surrounded by a wall, and mannequins are used to depict the location of the participants as recorded by Wyatt Earp.
Wow.
Yeah.
We saw that on Unsolved.
Yeah, on BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Visitors may pay to see a reenactment of the gunfight. Until April 2013, the reenactment was performed at 2 p.m. each day.
Oh.
But now
That's too much, dude.
it is 3 times a day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
A couple years after the OK Corral shootout, the Bisbee Massacre occurred. And the Bisbee Massacre, aka the Bisbee Murders or Bisbee Raid, occurred in Bisbee, Arizona on December 8th, 1883, when 5 outlaw cowboys robbed a general store. Believing the general store's safe contained a mine payroll of $7,000, they timed the robbery wrong and were only able to steal about $800 to $3,000.
That's so lame.
Along with a gold watch and jewelry.
Wow.
During the robbery, members of the gang killed 4 people, including a lawman and a pregnant woman.
They killed a pregnant woman over $800 and change.
Yeah. Well, 6 men were convicted of the robbery and murders. John Heath, who was accused of organizing the robbery, was tried separately and sentenced to life in prison. The other 5 men were convicted of murder and sentenced to hang.
Nice.
Unsatisfied with Heath's sentence, a lynch mob forcibly removed Heath from jail and hanged him from a telegraph pole on February 22nd, 1884. And they were the first criminals to be legally hanged in Tombstone.
Wow.
The graves of the 5 murderers are part of the Boot Hill graveyard, and you can visit them today. Also, according to Guinness Book of World Records, the world's largest rose bush was planted in Tombstone in 1885 and
Wow.
still flourishes.
Good
And
job,
no one
Tombstone.
talks about it.
Yeah,
Wow.
gets a bad rap.
I know, right?
So I'm going to talk about 2 places today that have ghosties, and then
Ghosties?
I'll follow up next week with more ghosts.
Oh, really? A teaser, he
Yeah,
said.
a little tease. So I'm going to talk about the OK Corral. So like I said, there wasn't really actually a shootout at the OK Corral, but today it is allegedly haunted by ghosts of the Cowboys over the years. A number of witnesses have reported seeing the fading apparitions of men dressed in cowboy attire, often appearing with guns drawn, perhaps locked in a perpetual battle with the Earps.
Oh.
And others have claimed to have felt numerous cold spots in various areas of the corral. And then, of course, at Boot Hill Graveyard, over the past years, the old cemetery has fell into disrepair. I guess before it became sort of like a touristy thing, it was pretty unkempt. It had numerous old wooden tombstones falling down or decomposing entirely, and other tombstones were just being stolen by people.
Wow.
And it wasn't until the town's first Eldorado days, around 1929, the old cemetery began to be referred to as Boot Hill.
Oh.
Still, it continued to sit neglected until the 1940s, when an effort began to restore the cemetery. Today, it's obviously one of the most popular tourist attractions, and a lot of people have claimed to see stuff there. Visitors often report seeing strange lights and hearing unidentifiable noises coming from the old graveyard.
Interesting.
And spirits have been spotted on numerous occasions, and even more frequently are said to be appear in photographs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Billy Clinton, one of the guys killed in the gunfight at the OK Corral, is said to rise from his grave before walking along the road back to Tombstone.
Really?
Yeah, supposedly.
Man.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. And then I'm going to save the rest for next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really is a very interesting place. Do you
Yeah.
think they'll ever make a movie about it?
Probably not.
Okay.
Wow.
No one likes seeing cowboy
Yeah, there's
movies.
something about the story that I don't think would translate well to the screen.
Yeah.
Like Dr.
You know.
Holiday.
No.
Like, and I know movies, you know, like I've seen movies. So just
I've seen a
based
movie,
off of
yeah.
the movies that I've seen,
Yeah.
I would say no. It
Yeah.
wouldn't cut it.
Yeah.
So
So this
Yeah.
ought to be interesting to you guys. When do you think bowling was invented?
I was gonna say like, okay, never mind. You go first.
I'm going to guess 1860.
Okay.
The thing is, games with a ball and sticks, you
Oh,
know, or a
yeah.
hoop,
It could be
have been around
older.
for like ever, like literally since humans were invented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, we have idle time. Here is a ball.
Yeah.
Let us throw it.
I mean, it's pretty fun to throw a ball.
I mean, so I would say bowling as we know it, like going to a bowling alley,
Yeah.
you know, and the concessions or whatever. I feel like that probably came around in like the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
But I feel like the game of bowling, I don't know, 1700s?
Yeah. It said it did have bowling alleys.
I
which
know,
is
I
interesting.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, the first known example of bowling with diagram,
Diagram?
Yeah.
and everything dates back to ancient Egypt.
Oh my goodness.
Interesting.
Did they come up with if you get 3 strikes it's a turkey? And if you get 4 it's a hand bone?
Literally. They
I wonder
literally
what
give
kind
you
of
a turkey.
graphics they had back when you got like a
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like a
Someone like
So this
constantly
is from the
chiseling.
Ancient, this is from the ancient tomb.
dude.
That's insane.
Why did I say 1700s?
So I'm
that was
just
so
gonna-
stupid. I don't know. You know.
I'll save that and send it to you so that you can put it in the thing.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
I did some research just now.
Yeah.
It turns out this stuff makes you extremely drowsy.
Oh really?
Oh, no.
Duh.
Yeah. So,
We couldn't tell.
no. Anyways,
He's pointing at his allergy medication.
spooky stuff. So, I
Not too
have
spooky,
a
though.
new cryptic creature for you. And it is not pretty for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and save that too so I can send that to you.
That's not very
I
nice.
feel like they rarely are.
I don't know. He's got big eyes.
Oh yeah, very
No,
attractive.
big, long
very nice
forehead.
features.
Oh yeah.
Today we are going to talk about the Spriggans.
Wait, show it to
The
Christopher.
Spriggans?
Yeah, a type of
Is he an elf?
fairy elf thingy.
Okay. Yeah.
Why do fairies have to be so creepy looking? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like actual fairies. Check out my coworker has an art Instagram called actually no, hold on. Yeah, follow a dollop of Daisy
Yeah.
on Instagram. They do absolutely incredible work, and we just went to
Oh yeah.
an art gallery at Insomnia. And it was basically, it was like monsters themed.
Yeah.
And my coworker did a few things like Pan's Labyrinth or whatever. And they also did a fairy. And
Yeah.
it's so gnarly. It looks like, I told him it looks like, you know, those sort of like botanists or whatever
Yeah.
from like the 1600s that would just go outside and draw stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like. Like they just like drew a fairy and it's like all creepy and gnarly and like has hairy legs and
Yeah.
like pock marks and stuff. It's like super gnarly.
That's pretty cool. It's not
Pretty
like
sick.
it's not like the temporary tattoos you can get at CC's.
No. I can be your angle or your devil.
Yeah.
99% angle. Anyway, what have you got for us?
So this Spriggan information
Yeah.
comes not from Wikipedia,
Oh.
but instead from visitcryptophile.com.
Oh.
And it reads, venture into dark and lonely landscapes, and you may encounter another paranormal wonder, the Spriggan.
Oh dear.
They are mean as they are ugly, and represent the dark side of the fairy kingdom. What does folklore have to tell us about these cryptozoology nightmares? Could they be real?
I mean,
The answer is yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously.
you hold that thought because they're real. I have never heard about this creature until I saw the amazing portrait by one super talented artist, Daryl Bevan. See photo to the right.
Okay.
I'll send that photo. I was intrigued, so I did a little digging. Spriggans come to us from Cornish folklore, as described by them as very dark and malevolent creatures.
Oh.
Malevolent.
Oh,
Because Izzy would immediately shut me down for saying
Yeah.
benevolent.
Yeah.
It's malevolent. They are part of the fairy world, thought to be cousins of the pleasant and playful pixies, but who act more like bodyguards of the fairy realm. In the article, The Mysterious Britain, they cite folklore that tells us that they live in Cornwall in castle ruins, barrows, certain standing stones, and windswept crags. Back in the day, the locals blamed them for ruining crops, creating bad weather, and in some
course.
cases, stealing human children,
Oh my gosh.
only to replace them with changelings.
Changelings.
Yep.
Is there any cryptid that doesn't ruin people's crops?
That's a very good point.
It kind of seems like that's their whole thing. I guess unless
If
you're
you
talking about Bigfoot.
consider Cthulhu a cryptid, then yes.
Okay.
He's not here for your crops. He's here for everything. Some believe they are the spirits of giants that used to inhabit parts of Britain. That's okay. Folklore says they can change their size to be large enough to combat giants and trolls.
Oh.
Like many fairy folk, Spriggans can be tricksters. It's said they lure travelers to dangerous places like swamps and ragged precipices. Folklore highly recommends that you do not offend one, or they will attack anything in the fairy. Do not offend one or attack anything in the fairy realm, because the Spriggans will take their revenge.
How do you know what's offensive to them, though?
Their already ugly gnarled face will get even uglier and even more gnarled, and you go, oh, whoops.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Honestly, I love your culture. So there's a deep-rooted connection to Stephen King, they say.
Whoa.
After visiting a friend in England, King wrote a short story partly involving a Spriggan. He had taken an hour-long walk on a railroad line called Parkland Walk that was full of atmosphere and unsettling possibilities. Along the walk is a sculpture of a Spriggan in an arched wall, seemingly walking out of the brickstone.
That's pretty cool. Where is that? Is that in Cornwall?
That is in, well, they just say Parkland Walk in England. So
Okay. You'll probably find it pretty easily. That reminds me of the trolls under the bridge in Seattle.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just the one troll.
So, I will now switch over to a little bit more about their historical stuff real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. Spriggan is a dialect word pronounced with the grapheme lesser than GG,
Yeah.
greater than, and not... okay, they're telling you how to say it. It's Spriggan.
Spriggan.
Yeah. Not Spriggan.
Okay.
Whoops. The Spriggan are found only about the cairns, quoits, and cromlets burrows of which detach stone, with which it is unlikely for mortals to meddle. A correspondent writes, "This is known that they were remarkably mischievous and thievish tribe, If ever a house was robbed, a child kidnapped, cattle carried away, or building demolished, it was the work of a Spriggan. Whatever commotion took place in earth, air, or water, it was all put down as the work of these spirits.
Yeah.
Wherever the giants have been, there the Spriggans had been also. It is usually considered that they are the ghosts of giants, certainly for many feats, being able to grow. Let's see. Okay, Spriggans were apparently related to the trolls of Scandinavia. Spriggans were once depicted as grotesquely ugly, wizened old men with large childlike heads. They were said to be found at old ruins, caves, barrows, and guarding buried treasure. Although small, they were usually
Treasure.
considered to be the ghosts of giants. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Spriggans are notorious for their unpleasant disposition and delight in working in mischief against those who offend them. They raise sudden whirlwinds to terrify travelers, sent storms to blight crops, and sometimes stole away mortal children, leaving ugly changelings in their place.
They
So, yeah.
summon cyclones to like mess with tourists.
You shouldn't have called me ugly.
What did they get out of replacing a child with a changeling?
Just
That's
to
what I
screw
don't
with you and
understand.
make you love something that's not truly yours.
I guess so.
And then they
let's
steal
see.
your kid, right?
Yeah. Then they
Yeah.
eat it or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Turning your clothes inside out is supposedly as effective as using holy water or iron in repelling them.
That seems like a lot of work.
So you can turn your clothes inside out and just walk up and take their loot, is what it's saying.
Oh,
It was not Spriggans,
Okay,
but
who made that up?
it's your Spriggans body armor.
Who
Yeah.
made that up? Who just said, just turn your clothes inside out? Who made that up?
it is
A very
in the
smart
in the
person.
story of the old woman.
Oh, so it's
yeah.
the old woman.
So the old woman
Yeah.
made it up.
Yeah.
It was not the Spriggans, but the Bukas or Knockers,
Nice.
who were associated with tin mining, acting as guardians in the workings and apartments of, apart from the mischievous nature above. Their attitude towards miners seemed to have been one of protection. However, it is said that on Christmas Eve in former days, the small people, or the Spriggans, would meet at the bottom of the deepest mine and have a midnight mass. So, they're Catholic.
Yeah.
So, that begs the question, are they real? It is impossible to gather any solid data to prove the existence of anything in the fairy world. It is
What?
probably likely a lot of paranormal things. If you've experienced it, then you know. If you never have, then you can't be sure if it exists or not.
Yeah.
That is why I stick with the cryptozoological world. It is a little easier to measure and quantify these things there. By the way, if you like to see beautiful images of cryptid creatures, blah blah blah, check out this guy's Facebook page. He didn't link it, so his fault.
Dang.
Anyways, Spriggans, are they real? Yes. Grandpa took your brother or sister and replaced them with an ugly little freak.
Yeah.
Always be on the lookout because that's not really your family.
Yeah.
They're out to get you.
One time,
Turn your clothes inside out and see if they freak out. Let's try that on Chris real quick.
So my sister is 7 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
6 years younger. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, she's much younger than me. And so I remember when I was a teenager, my cousin, who's the same age as my sister, came to spend the night at my dad's house with all of us together. And they made a pallet in the living room. And my dad stole one sock each from their feet as they were sleeping.
What?
Just to mess with them.
Oh, weird.
And then they noticed it, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad was like, "Oh, that's just the sock elf. It's a sock elf. They like to steal socks of little kids when they're
messed up.
sleeping." And they're like, "What? No way. We don't believe you." And he was like, "You know what? I'll show you." And so he went to Google and just typed in sock elf.
Yeah.
And it came up.
Oh my gosh.
And literally, said exactly what he was saying. Like,
Was
they
it
just steals.
just
he
a
just
picture of Dan Schneider?
completely. Wow. Wow. Allegedly.
He's got your sock
allegedly.
in one hand and a jar of mayonnaise in the other.
Wow.
Come on.
Ew, Christopher.
Do you want the sock back?
Anyway, what happened is that my dad just made up the sock elf.
Nice.
And then was like, please Google, let this go through. And it did.
It didn't disappoint.
And it was awesome.
DeviantArt saves the day
Yep.
once again.
No, it was actually on Wikipedia. And
wow.
yeah, and my cousin and sister were like, well, the internet says it, so,
It must be true.
you know.
I mean, when you have the Yule lads like Door Sniffer and
Yeah.
Meat Hook and
Door
and-
sniffer is
and Grabby.
chuchubs.
Or it was like grabbers.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that.
that was interesting.
Spriggans.
Spriggans.
Don't say Spriggan. They'll get offended. And then send a cyclone to suck you up and send you away.
Well, good thing we didn't say it and you did.
Yeah,
But I'm going to wear my
Alright.
clothes inside out, so it's good. They're like,
it's gonna bounce right off of you.
turn it back.
All right. So, would anyone like to play our favorite segment song, Ragtime Rory, maybe?
I don't even remember how it goes.
It's something
That's what y'all
kinda
said last
like,
time.
Ragtime Rory. That's not right. But
And then you go.
whatever.
Wow, here we go.
All
All right, so this time I checked, and there are no codes. There is no secret hidden message. Okay.
That's what he wants you to think.
And look,
Yeah.
I'm lazy, and I have not so much time on my hands, so I didn't go back and look at the other messages yet. Okay.
Oh.
And I will do that, I promise.
Sad.
Okay, so he says, "Hey, harbingers of spook, happy October. It is my favorite month for many reasons." Wow, we're gonna slow down here because apparently someone can't read tonight.
Oh.
Halloween, of course. What an awesome holiday. My birthday is on the 26th. Happy belated birthday.
Yay!
Yeah. Also, and the weather. So much about October. Has got it going on. Has it got it going on. Well. He says, so we were in the hospital the other day waiting to get discharged from the baby's arrival, and I was flipping through some of the channels on TV. You guys know me pretty well, so you may know that I'm a super cheapskate. So I will not pay for TV channels. It's just not an option.
Yeah.
He says, I don't watch even close enough TV for it to be worth it to pay for cable or anything. Anyways, I was pleased with the channel selection in the hospital, and I was
Nice.
flipping through. As I was flipping through, I landed on a show that was like Ghost Hunters or Paranormal Pursuers or some crap like that, and
Wow.
had some thoughts hit me, and I wanted to run them by you. I know in earlier episodes you guys have shared some opinions on some of the shows and personalities, but not sure if I remember your explicit thoughts. Moreover, I don't like busting people's chops about their beliefs, but when I see a production that is incentivized to fabricate experiences to attract viewers in order to add revenue to from their advertisers, that is when I will bust people's chops.
Yeah.
Ghost harassers.
Yeah, ghost harassers.
Ghost harassing.
Zach Bagel Bites. He says, I follow the money first, and if that is not an incentive for their behaviors, then I will be much more likely to trust someone's opinions on the matter. Well, we don't make any money, so you should trust us 100%.
Yep.
Yet.
Oh yeah, baby.
We do this for free.
Jackpot.
We're losing money on this. No, I'm just- It's sad because it's true.
Wow.
The first thing that kills me, he says, in the overproduction of the shows, and this isn't just for that particular show, but pretty much all TV shows. I like to watch shows like Halloween Wars and stuff like that, but it kills me to see these very clearly fabricated, quote, accidents or, quote, events that add to the drama or develop the characters of the contestants. He says it drives me crazy. So I was watching the show for no more than 2 minutes before one of the hunters started to have overwhelming feelings of confusion,
Yeah.
as if some entity was creating an aura that disrupted their bodies from functioning properly or whatever.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a bunch of baloney. He says, what I would love to see in a paranormal show would be a group of dynamic friends, not unlike yourselves, that go to historically haunted places and honestly seek out any paranormal experiences. And ideally, the interactions between the group would be able to be to compensate for any lack of experiences. Obviously, not all places that would be visited would have a paranormal experience. In fact, I would expect most of the time there would be none, but that should be okay. The environment of these shows are put in a position where if they do not capture an experience, then the trip was a failure.
Yeah, true.
Right? And I don't think that should be the case. That incentivizes them to create false experiences that cheapens not just their show, but the whole industry. Okay, look, it sounds like Rory's trying to get us... it sounds like he's trying to pitch us the show and tell us he's going to be our manager. This is what it sounds like. He's like, so I have this idea here.
Yeah.
We have a couple of investors standing by.
And with just a little bit of like venture capital.
Yeah, all we need is your personalities. That's all we need.
Just a little bit of seed money.
He says, however, on the flip side, to see these experiences on screen, whether fabricated or real, theoretically could create an influx of tourist dollars to the locations that are featured, which is a good thing, I think. And he says, man, I really don't know what to believe in anymore. What do you guys think about these shows? Are they doing wrong by creating false experiences, or are they doing good by helping the publicity of these locations and increasing the tourism? I just think of the people who try to run these locations, and I bet it's not easy to try to run one of these locations, and they might depend on these tourism dollars of paranormal hunters / fanatics. I bet these people appreciate the publicity of these shows, even if they are bunk. Just one more way the dead can help out the living.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we think about these shows?
I think that they are kind of the epitome of reality television, and that they have to be like, you have to have experiences. So obviously you're gonna say like, oh, I feel a cold spot, or like, oh, I'm feeling weird, I hear voices, or something like that. But yeah, like the ghost adventures guys, like I don't know if you doubt me, but I would totally still watch Ghost Adventures if we actually were able to watch it.
I think you would watch it for like an episode and then be like, oh yeah, this isn't good.
It's
like, I don't think you'd be able to do it.
Well, first off, I love history. I love spooky history.
Yeah.
And I love watching dude bros.
Really? Do you though? Do you
it's
though?
Hilarious, dude.
Really?
It's so good. Oh my god.
Wow. Okay.
I would totally watch
right.
Ghost Adventures. Ghost Hunters seemed a little bit more tame back when I watched it, like in high school, middle school. So I mean, they would go to places and just not find anything.
Yeah.
And it'd just be like,
I mean, what is that one show that Izzy talks about? It's like, oh man.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's the guy who's looking for cryptids.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And they literally find
I think
nothing
it's called,
ever.
Destination Truth.
Destination Truth. That's what it is. Yeah. And it's like, oh, we heard a noise. Like the little teasers are like, oh, what's that crackling sound over there? And it's just like a squirrel. And they're like, well, we didn't find him this time.
Yeah.
But does he exist?
I mean, like, I love the shows, and like, I don't think they're doing too much bad. I mean, obviously, like, it's making us more aware of like haunted hotels and stuff like that we might want to go to.
I was gonna say, I think it raises awareness for certain locations and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, in that sense, like it can only maybe do well for the people who are running those hotels.
Yeah, running these
like,
small businesses,
trying to make this business, and like if they can just get a couple freaks in that want to like see a ghost or something stupid like that, then like I don't know.
He says, on another note, I was listening to Radiolab or something, and they were talking about this one guy who had an experience with a ghost hunter or spiritualist or whatever you want to call it, where he wanted to communicate with a loved one who had passed on. He was naturally skeptical, but what had happened changed his mind. It was the method of communication that they had him use to communicate with his past loved ones. Here's how they did it. And he says, you may have heard this method before. They get a flashlight and they turn it on. They twist the top of the flashlight just barely to the point that the light goes out.
Sounds familiar.
Then they communicate to the spirit, and the spirit communicates back. Or the spirit will communicate back by flashing the flashlight as directed.
Yeah.
They may say, flash the light once for yes and twice for no, or something like that.
Yeah.
And the light will always flick on and off. He said it was a pretty interesting method of communication with the dead. A little bit cooler than listening for random knocks in the house or cracking toe bones like the Fox sisters. Yeah. But he said, but in the episode I was listening to, they revealed how it works scientifically. Oh, great.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
No, the illusion's broken.
I know, right? He said it blew my mind. It is an elegant way to produce this illusion of communication. How it works is as the light flicks on and off, there is a cooling and warming of the metal that causes an expansion and contraction that breaks and connects the circuit of the flashlight and will cause the light to go on and off almost at random, at a random, unpredictable rate.
Yeah.
So you can ask questions to this flashlight and wait for it to flicker for your response. So it seems so convincing because it is so far removed from everyone. The flashlight can be clear on the other side of the room, out of reach from everyone, so you know there's no tampering with it. And there appears to be no patterns with the flickering light. It's all very convincing.
Yeah. I mean, that is the one thing that they do in Unsolved. That I'm just kind of like, why are they getting so much activity out of this? And like they never get
nothing else.
Any other stuff.
I know.
Although I do love when they use the box or whatever.
The sound box.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
He says that is one of the methods that I don't believe was used malevolently, but spiritualists may use this method by reading about it online and not really knowing the science behind it, and honestly thinking they were communicating with the dead.
Yeah.
Do you guys know of any other methods that were/are used to dupe people? I do love the idea of using these types of tricks and knowing the secrets behind them, but never to trick people into thinking they are talking to the dead loved one or to their dead loved ones or making money off them. But knowledge is power.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the spirit box is it spirit box? Is it sound box? I think it's spirit box.
Yeah, I think it's a spirit box.
I mean, that's the same thing. So basically, it flips through endless channels, endless radio frequencies or something, and it
does like 20 in a second or something like that.
Right, exactly.
And
so
if you're able to hear any voice for like a second or two,
right,
it's supposedly like a spirit trying to talk to you.
Right. It's statistically really low for you. The chances are low for you to like actually hear words.
Yeah.
So when you do hear them, they think, oh, it must be a spirit communicating through it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I kind of thought I know the whole flashlight toggling thing is is not the most scientific.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
I still love watching it.
I know.
That's the whole thing. Like, I mean, these could all be like just like parlor tricks, but I mean, like, if it's not convincing me to buy anything from them or whatever, like if I'm just like learning about a place and like, oh, they're walking around and they see spooky stuff, then like I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement. Ghost TV shows stay on air.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think ours would be boring.
Yeah.
No,
because we don't know the tricks.
I mean, if we all let loose and there was, we had like the side drama between me and Mac fighting all the time.
I guess so, but like
then
also
that would be interesting.
I love that show Abandoned on Vice.
Dude.
That was, I mean, it's not even a ghost show, but like he goes into like abandoned buildings, abandoned malls, abandoned like factories and stuff like that, and it's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
So like even if you're just like going into like a rundown place that's supposedly haunted, like it's still pretty cool.
I would love to go to abandoned mall.
I watched a video of those some guys going onto Paveglia, I think it was.
Yeah, Paveglia.
Yeah, and it was just interesting to see them watching around that abandoned Black Plague.
It was so haunting.
Detention center or whatever that people still go to get grapes.
It's crazy. He says, another thing that I thought was interesting on a psychological level was that they interviewed this man after he had communicated with his dead father, or whoever it was, and told him how the trick worked. But it did not make a difference to him. In that moment, he believed he was communicating with a past loved one, and had received the desperate closure that he needed with that relationship. I have never been in that situation, but it does seem like you can't take back closure. It's closed, over, done with, finito. Mm-hmm. Even if it is revealed that method that you received the closure was false, psychologically it would be very hard to put it back to the bottle. Or back into the bottle, so to speak. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know. That seems a little bit cruel.
Yeah,
to tell him like, here, we're going to communicate with your dad, and then after be like, so let me show you why this was all science and why you weren't talking to your dad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a little rough.
That's sad.
But that's like a situation where you might actually be influencing someone in a bad way with that sort of stuff. Like you're giving them, I mean, I guess you could say you're giving them hope.
Right.
Like something to believe in, perhaps.
Right.
But like you're also like willingly misleading them if you're using those tricks and stuff like that. Like that's just not really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like the whole modern spiritualist movement.
Yeah.
And I was literally listening to our episode earlier.
Yeah.
So I like listening through them to see how they are, and like, I don't know, the sisters at the end of their lives were like, we renounce all of this, and we think it's like the biggest curse to like modern man or whatever, and I don't know. It's just so interesting. Who even knows? I was thinking when you were talking about like people seeing the ghosts of the Cowboys in that saloon, like, is it energy Are we seeing the ghosts? Or are we seeing, like, are we tapping into another dimension? You know, like,
Yeah.
what is it?
You could just be seeing what you want to see. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
See what you want to see.
He says, anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Happy Halloween.
Thank you, Rory.
The fearmonger starts.
Nice.
So I do have another email to read, but McAnally will not. He won't be able to make it.
Yes, I will.
So
We could save it for next week.
yeah, let's save it for next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to be reading this really awesome email from Ghost Bones, aka Monica,
Ooh.
and she talks about lucid dreaming.
Yes.
And she gives us a breakdown of the rules. Basically, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I tried
5.
I tried to start my dream journal. Like I woke up one morning and I was like, "Wow, I had a dream." And then I turned over to start to write it and I was like, "Wait, it is completely like pitch black in this room. I can't write this."
Yeah.
So I kind of fell off it.
That's all right. The thing is, I started reading through this email. I like to go through it first and then also keep some of it a surprise.
Yeah.
But she gave you
Yeah.
or everyone 5 solid rules about lucid dreaming and then kind of explained
Okay.
each one. So next week we'll be talking about lucid dreaming thanks to Monica.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting some examples of her lucid dreaming and
Really?
such. Yeah.
Oh.
And then we'll talk about the Knuckle Ave and what she thinks of it and stuff like that. So yeah. So join us next week, you guys. Thanks
Yeah.
so much for joining us. We love having fun with you guys and we miss y'all. And you know what? Life happens and we're all together.
Yeah.
So be kind to someone today.
Be kind. Keep it spooky.
Be kind, rewind, bro.
Yeah.
And always read your pill bottles before you take them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what Max says from Beyond the Grave.
Oh no, Christopher! How many allergy pills did you take?
No, I took the recommended dose, but I've always taken non-drowsy. This is some regular
This is extra
brand.
drowsy.
Oh no.
This is super drowsy.
Oh
Wow.
man.
Anyway, like we said, follow us on Instagram at It's Haunted Podcast or on Twitter at Max Mystery Milk.
Yeah.
If you are interested in movies, follow us or pop on over to So Anyway We Watched It, our movie review podcast.
Yeah.
And we are on We Watched It podcast on Instagram. And what's our Twitter for So Anyway We Watched It?
What do you mean? That is it.
Oh, that?
Max
Yeah.
Mystery Milk.
Well, if you go to So Anyway It's Haunted Twitter, that's us. But the tag is Max Mr. Milk.
Oh.
Oh, so
Okay.
it's both podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Can you tell I'm not on Twitter? We hope you guys have an awesome Halloween. Happy spooky Halloween. Look out for our pictures of our costumes or Christopher looking normal. And we'll see you guys next episode.
Who curdled the milk?
Oh wait, and if you have, what is that from? What is that
I'm
from?
just asking.
I don't know.
I'm just
Okay.
asking. Was it you?
If you want to email in your paranormal stories, DM us on Instagram at It's Haunted Podcast or email us at anywayitshaunted@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we will be reading your stories on air. And if you want to be anonymous, just let me know.
And I just want to say, I respect all of you, but I am no longer accepting the love letters. So after this podcast,
Are you still
it's
accepting the
just-
mystery milk?
The mystery
Ooh.
milk is fine. The love letters, it's just no.
You heard it here first.
A little tangy, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
A
want to
little-
say, I was trying to say, you heard it here first, folks. Okay, I just want people to know that. I don't know what happened.
He heard.
You can say each word separately and then splice it together later.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
It's mine. I don't wash them.
Not me.
I actually refuse to wash them.
I'm doing the McAnally challenge.
It's actually healthier for your bunions. Wow, that's rude.
It was a good burn. See, even you laughed.
Sick burn.
At me. Wow. All the Mac stands are like, leave him alone. Boycott Ashley.
Mac
right.
Army. McAnally Army.
It's my monster militia.
Wow.